Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a watch launched in 2015, part of the extended Dark Side of the Moon family. This is the Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch White Side of the Moon. Easily the most distinctive from the first 3 years of ceramic-cased Speedmaster Moonwatches. This is a timepiece that is, in many ways, what the Moonswatch wants to be when it grows up, and it is my favorite of the ceramic speedies. 44.25 millimeters in diameter. The watch is 16.3 millimeters thickened from lug to lug to 50 millimeters with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see it is a large watch. I'd actually recommend it for a wrist no smaller than mine. Maybe you could get away with a 15 centimeter circumference wrist, but you can see it is a large timepiece, principally because it's so thick. It's not heavy at all. Being comprised mostly of sapphire and ceramic, it is super light and almost toy-like on the wrist. It looks and feels toy-like. Taking a look at the strap, it is a large rectangular scale gloss white alligator leather, a rather rare treatment of the material. There's bolstering close to the lugs to give it some volume. There's stuffing. There's a monotone stitch, a folded edge. On the underside, calfskin with a contrasting red stitch. And you can see that a rubber gusset has been sewn into the strap so that the buckle will not gouge the strap and wear it down prematurely. The buckle is well known to Omega fans, but it's a contemporary take on the design. Twin trigger release. Externally, you can see it's a combination of very subtle satin finished ceramic and then gloss polish. So this is polished, this is satin, this is polished. There is a contrast there, but it's subtle. Taking a look inside, you can see that the clasp itself is all of high polish. It is titanium. And it features a little minder system. So you tuck the strap in, it buckles into place, and then there's no need for strap minders externally. It's a very clean look that hides all excess length underneath the strap and clasp. The case will be familiar to Moonwatch fans, lyre-style lugs with that inward and outward bevel. The mid-case is satinated. The transitional bevel from end to end is polished, and then the inward bevels of the case are satinated. The underside of the bezel's all of high polish. The top, as you could see, is primarily of gloss finish, though it has a sharp metallic set of calibrations. That's one of the most pleasing features of the watch's aesthetic. And then you can see we have ceramic pusher and crown. Do a quick loom shot so you can get a good sense of the watch in the dark. It is a well-loomed watch with a loomed chronograph seconds hand. The timepiece has a dramatically cambered and box-profiled sapphire, designed to give it a little bit of a vintage look. On the dial, well, you can see the dial itself is also made of ceramic, a white ceramic dial. We have white gold hands and indices. It is a flagship piece. There's a mono counter over at 3 o'clock that features coaxial chronograph minutes and hours. We also have a constant seconds register over at 9, so it has a twin register look but tri-register functionality. And then there is a date down at 6 o'clock. There are 2 setting modes. One is a mobile hour hand, does not stop the watch, it does not activate hacking seconds. It'll drive the date forward or backwards. This is so when you are flying and traveling or perhaps sailing on a ship, you can change your time zones periodically without disturbing the other functions of the watch, including the chronograph. Now, if you pull the crown out all the way, then you activate hacking seconds. You can see that the sub-registers are somewhat matte finished in subtle contrast with the polish of the primary dial. On the reverse side, we have another dramatically cambered sapphire. You can see that this is a 50-meter water-resistant watch. Zirconium oxide, the chemical name for ceramic. This is the white side of the moon, and it has caliber 9300. Caliber 9300 is the chronograph version of the 8500. Tri-level coaxial, bidirectional automatic winding. It has 2 mainspring barrels for a 60-hour power reserve. 2 barrels in series makes for a very even torque release, so you don't get the big drop-off in balance amplitude after 24 or 36 hours that you find on a single barrel watch. There is a column wheel vertical clutch chronograph. You can see the column wheel, which has been polished and is fixed by a blackened screw. You can see that through a skeletonized bridge. The column wheel makes for a nice crisp pusher feel and sound. And because of the vertical clutch, You can start the chronograph without any jump, stagger, or hop, and you can leave the chronograph running full-time again thanks to that vertical clutch, which creates no additional wear and tear. Anti-magnetic escapement, anti-magnetic silicone hairspring, effectively amagnetic as a watch. Full balance bridge with a free sprung balance for shock tolerance. It has the coaxial escapement as invented by George Daniels and industrialized by Omega, and these latest generation tri-level coaxials really live up to the promise of the original innovation. Longer power reserve, less maintenance, and better precision. The watch is adjusted in 5 positions. It is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer. Pivots on 54 jewels. It has a distinctive arabesque Côte de Genève pattern across the rotor as well as bridges. There's engine turning on the base plate, and we have both polished and blackened screws. The watch beats away at a distinctive rate of 25,200 vibrations per hour, which I used to think was a coaxial specific rate, but actually turned out to be a silicone hairspring rate that's true of all Swatch Group watches using silicone hairsprings. So reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.